Senator Brown.
Thanks, Chairman. I want to talk about Fed independence in a slightly different way from the Chairman. I appreciate his questions. Mr. Waller, start with you. Do you think that Chairman Powell's done a good job making independent decisions regardless of what the President tweets at him?
I think Chairman Powell has been very professional in his job in carrying out policy as best he can and building a consensus on the committee.
I'll ask you the exact same question, Ms. Shelton. Do you think Chair Powell has done a good job making independent decisions regardless of what the President tweets at him?
Thank you, Ranking Member Brown. I think Chair Powell and every member of the Federal Open Market Committee is sufficiently self-possessed to rely on their own judgment. I don't think any of them are influenced by political pressure.
So is it okay that the President of the United States tweets at him and calls the President who appointed him, tweets at him and calls him names and said he's not doing good things for the economy? That's just okay?
Well, I don't censor what other people say, but I do believe that every American, every member of Congress, and even the President has the right to criticize our Federal Reserve.
Based on what the President says about Chair Powell, Ms. Shelton, it looks like the Fed and I mean, you could watch this, and we all in this committee and both parties are Fed watchers to a degree. You could watch these attacks by the President on his chairman, our chairman now. It looks like the President and the Federal Reserve aren't working well together. Do you think the chairman is doing a bad job accommodating the President's wishes?
I don't think it's the job of the Federal Reserve to accommodate political agendas. What I'm saying is that the Fed operates independently, as it should, working for the best interests of the nation.
Understanding that will be your answer to the next question, but go with me a little bit here. What do you think about the President's criticisms of Chairman Powell?
As I said...
Is President right? Is Chairman Powell right?
As I said, I'm not censoring what other people
I'm not asking you to censor. I'm just saying we have something we've never seen in American history where the President of the United States consistently attacks his own nominee, whom many of us, myself included up here, voted for, trying to get him to do different things on economic policy. What do you think about what the President, not censoring him, but what do you think about the President's advice to Chairman Powell and what he tells him to do?
I think what we've seen historically is some Fed chairmen have felt they were being pressured behind the scenes. In some ways, it's refreshing if that's out in the open. And as I say, everyone, certainly business journalists, dissect every word that's uttered by a Federal Reserve official. And it's available, all the information. Anyone can make a comment at any time.
Mr. Waller, I think that the chairman of the Federal Reserve has done a pretty good job remaining independent. When he was here yesterday, testified yesterday, Senator Kennedy and Senator Rounds and Senator Chair Crapo and Senator Tester, and I'm leaving out a couple, all emphatically emphasized, I guess that's, anyway, certainly complimented the chairman on his independence, but emphasized how important independence is. Mr. Waller, you pledge to be independent regardless of what President Trump tells you to do?
Thank you, Senator Brown. I pledge to do what's best for the economy in terms of how we read the data and what's best to do to achieve our dual mandate. That's how I view the job, and that's what I intend to do.
Ms. Shelton, do you pledge to be independent in your decision-making regardless of what the President tells you to do?
I pledge to be independent in my decision-making, and frankly, no one tells me what to do.
Ms. Shelton, my last comment and question, Mr. Chairman. Going back 3 decades, you've written extensively, some 95 articles and books, including several op-eds in the last couple of years. Can you explain to the committee why you've published in Cato or in the Wall Street Journal time and again praise for one set of provocative beliefs, like the U.S. should revert to the gold standard, that low interest rates steal from investors, that the Fed is an interloper in the marketplace and should be abolished? Now, when you come before Congress, you claim you're firmly in the mainstream of economic thought. I'm troubled with that. You have a paper trail for 30 years. You seem to be the new Judy Shelton, not the old Judy Shelton. What are we to make of that?
Senator, I think I've been intellectually consistent since I wrote a book in 1994 called Money Meltdown, Restoring Order to the Global Currency System. I don't claim to be in the mainstream of economists, but I don't think that's
You're not an
necessarily a
economist for
virtue.
one, you're not an economist for one thing, right?
I am an economist, sir.
I think your PhD was in something else.
My PhD from the University of Utah was administered through the finance department as majoring in international finance and economics, but it is a business administration degree through their school, yes.